What's going on, everybody? It's just another day in the kitchen, back with another episode, and in today's video we're taking a look at none other than Travis Scott aka LaFlame and some of his latest sneakers as well as those releasing later this 2024. Now before we get started, I want to give a special shout out to my homie Strain Beats, who's been cooking up the beats for these videos, so make sure you guys check them out. And while you're here, you might as well drop a like and subscribe and join our free Discord to stay up to date with the latest and the greatest. Shout out to all of my chefs in there. Now, if you've been following Travis at all over the last couple of weeks, you'll know that he kicked off the highly anticipated European leg of his Utopia tour, and it was on the first leg of this tour that we saw him preview some new versions of his upcoming sneakers, so it got me inspired to make today's video. Starting things off with the newly leaked Jordan Jumpman Jack Bright Cactus colorway. And before we go any further, I want to give a special shout out to the homie Rager Kicks, who helped me put this video together some time ago. Now, while these Bright Cactus Jumpman Jacks are alleged to drop sometime between November and early 2025, I do want to remind you of the following pair we saw Travis debut earlier on in the Utopia tour, which is oddly reminiscent of the pair we see now, which I would say resembles more of a lime green colorway, and ultimately I prefer this pair right here over the first one that we just saw. Now, in sticking with the whole green themed colorway, I also wanted to follow up the Jordan Jumpman Jacks with the following Celtics themed colorway we saw Travis debut during the NBA Finals most recently. And while it is unconfirmed whether or not these are a friends and family pair or a sample made for Travis himself, I do think they're hard, although as an Orlando Magic fan, get that out of here. And now, in keeping up with the Celtics theme, I wanted to mention the following Air Jordan 1 Lows that were gifted to none other than Jason Tatum, which would end up being part of a very elaborate invitation to one of Hollywood's most anticipated parties of the year, that of course being the all-white party hosted here by Michael Rubin. Now, when I say these Johns are exclusive, I mean exclusive because they only ended up making 350 pairs, and allegedly every single one of these has the initials and name of the recipient on the sneaker. So if you plan on selling these, Travis Scott and the Cactus Jack boys are gonna know. And if you're wondering what the connection is with Michael Rubin, he actually owns Fanatics, who Travis Scott teamed up with most recently for this Jack Goes Back to College collection, and has also been spotted with Travis throughout the years, hanging out courtside at NBA games and even giving us this preview of another unreleased Jumpman Jack. And even though there are only 350 of these pairs made and quite literally have the initials of the recipient, it didn't take long for me to find them in the hands of a reseller, so I have to ask if you would actually sell these if you were given them. Now, as far as my favorite unreleased and upcoming Travis Scott sneaker, it's definitely gotta be the following Dark Mocha Jumpman Jacks, which allegedly are supposed to release this upcoming October. And while I historically haven't worn a ton of brown colorways, I have to give all credit to my boy LaFlame for really popularizing it, and I hope to get my hands on it as well. Now, speaking of these Dark Mocha Jumpman Jacks, it was just last night, or at Travis Scott's most recent Utopia tour performance, he actually gifted them off of his feet to a lucky fan, and I'd love to know in the comments what you guys would do with them. And since we're on this mocha colorway, I thought it would be the perfect time to look at another upcoming Travis Scott Jordan 1 Lowe collab in the form of these, which are also allegedly dubbed Dark Mochas as well, which I don't think are terrible, but at this time are not really connecting with me. And before I go any further, I do want to acknowledge that some of these images are probably of reps, so keep that in mind. Now, as far as some more unreleased Jumpman Jacks, we also got the following preview of this Oreo or Panda themed colorway courtesy of Chase B, Travis's right hand and DJ, as well as Travis himself when the boys got a gym session in when he posted the following on his IG story. Now, it was also during the first leg of the Utopia tour, like I mentioned, Travis would debut some other colorways where we also saw the following olive themed swoosh, in addition to this brown colorway of the Jumpman Jacks, which we first saw previewed as early as last year. Now, as far as this next unreleased Travis sneaker, he only debuted it one time at the Cannes Film Festival, don't shoot me if I mispronounced it, and we're not entirely sure what the model is, but you can see that it's got some kind of reverse swoosh. Speaking of another unreleased Travis sneaker we've only seen once, we also have the following red pair of what look like Jumpman Jacks that Travis debuted at the most recent Super Bowl. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about, you can definitely see some type of straps on the top there, which gives me the idea that it's supposed to be inspired at least by the Jumpman jacks. Now additionally, Travis would go on to preview the following unreleased Jumpman jacks while he attended some kind of soccer or football event, and you can see from the images, although not the greatest, it looks like the colorway is some kind of pale or vanilla or even cream color, which would be more or less confirmed when the following pairs of reps or images started popping up online. And I'd love to know in the comments what you guys think about them so far. Now for those of you that have been following Travis since the first leg of the Utopia tour, you'll probably recognize these unreleased Nike Sharkadons, which are apparently going to lead a new wave of these new sneaker models. And it was around that same time that this mocha or cookies and cream inspired colorway also surfaced as well, giving us an idea that they're actually working on more. Now it was just a couple of weeks ago that we also got this black and gray version of the Nike Sharkadons, which we'll be releasing at some point in the future, and I'd love to know what you guys think and if Nike is making the right decision with this silhouette and how you guys feel about it. Now although this next pair isn't something you'd wear on the daily, Travis also has his athletes in mind, as we would see some form of upcoming Cactus Jack cleat, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Now with all that being said, and to wrap up today's video, we also got confirmation that the following olive theme Air Jordan 1 Lows will be releasing in the future. And although this one is eerily reminiscent of another pair we've seen release in the past, I think it's safe to say this collaboration between Travis Scott, the Jordan brand, and the Nike brand has been very successful, even though they have plans to cancel the following pair, which is honestly one of my favorites. Now to wrap up today's video, I want to pass the mic to my chefs and viewers and know what your honest opinions are on the collaborations we've been seeing, as it's no secret that Nike is relying heavily on their Travis Scott collabs, even going so far as to create a copycat pair of the Air Jordan 1 Low Dark Phantoms that you guys can see pictured on top here. Now additionally, I also wanted to acknowledge the topic of Travis Scott fatigue in the streetwear and sneaker markets, as when I was doing some research looking back at the two most recent Travis Scott drops, I was a little bit surprised just to see how low they were in comparison to other drops. And although these yellow canaries might not be the best version to compare, as they're a bit difficult to style and a bit louder, I wanted to compare to the most recent Jumpman Jack and signature silhouette, where you can see that most sizes, if not all, are hovering around the $400 range, which on one hand I think is great for accessibility, but also makes me wonder what happened to the hype with these sneakers. Now there are some things to address where the secondary market is not as good as it used to be, and money is definitely tighter, but I really want to believe it's not people necessarily tired of Travis Scott sneakers, as at least we got a little bit more effort than we saw with the Utopia Air Force One collab. Now with all that being said, if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching, and I'd love to know what you guys think about this one in the comments. It's no secret that I feel Travis Scott is the king of merch, and apart from probably Kanye, he's got the best non-athlete collabs we've ever seen, so it's never any shade to my boy LaFlame, and I'm curious what you guys think about his upcoming releases. Now as always guys, thank you so much for cooking with the kitchen. Let me know which pair you guys are looking forward to the most. Remember to stay safe out there, and as always remember, it's lit. Straight up, and peace.